She's back. Midlife crisis, quarter life crisis, whatever you want to call it, it's not a crisis. Like I said, rejection is just a form of redirection. Your interests will change and it's okay. I want you to know you are not alone in your walk, and there is always someone out there who is going through what you are going through. She's back. What's up? It's your girl Blake, back with another biggity bitty banger. I can't even get it out. I'm so glad to be back. Welcome to another episode of Couch Conversations with Blake. I feel good and I have a lot to talk about today, so let's get to it. Like, Blake, where have you been? Why are you back? So sometimes like coming back isn't always good, because why did you leave anyway? Why did you fall off? Girl, get it together. Consistency. We were supposed to be consistent and focused this year. Focus was my word for the year. Back in January when the new year hit, focus was my word. And I don't know what happened. I don't know. Life just been happening, right? So anyway, we're back with another couch conversation. Let's get comfortable. Where do I start? I want to tell y'all my business, and we can just discuss my business. I don't know nobody else's business. I don't know my business to discuss, so we can start with my business. So, y'all, I think I'm going through like a midlife crisis. Maybe it's a quarter life crisis, because I hope the middle of my life is not now. I'm in my mid-20s. I bet not die at 50. I hope I live a long life. Please, God. Anyway, so the very first episode of Couch Conversations with Blake, I don't know if it was episode 1 or what. Okay, so in one of the episodes, I discussed how you do everything you think is right to get to where you think you want to be, and then you get there and maybe it might not be what you thought it would be, right? What do you do? How do you navigate life during that season? All your life you thought that you wanted to be a doctor, you went to school, and then you got in the medical room and it's like, I don't like this stuff, you know? Or all your life you thought you wanted to be a journalist, and then you realize you have to do all this research and reporting, and it's like, that's not what I'm into. Like, I might be into, you know, seeing other people's lives, but not the actual research and reporting part of it. So like, once you realize what you worked so hard to get is not what you actually wanted, what do you do from that point on, you know? So I just feel like many people, they stay stuck, and due to circumstances, they never have the opportunity to explore what it is they really want in life, right? And that is sad, because then that requires you to either hustle, so you have to work a 9 to 5 and then a 5 to 9 and make many sacrifices, whether that be not seeing your family as much or financial sacrifices, whatever the sacrifice may be. So you have to hustle, or you just have to settle. Either hustle or settle. Which one are you gonna do? And I am in my mid-20s. I don't want to have to hustle or settle for a life that I don't want. I'm willing to put in the work, but I don't want to have to slave. Like, I don't think I was made to be a hard-working woman, a hard-working, 12-hour shift, back to back to back. I don't think that's me. I'm willing to learn a skill to create, to generate that income, so I can have the freedom and the time to do what I want when I want. And I do think my life's purpose is to help people. But I can easily get into a career helping people, but I might not want to help people in that way, 3 years from now. So how am I going to be able to set myself up so I can help people in the way that I want. For real, in my life, I want to help people by, I think, like missionary trips. I've never been on a missionary trip, but I do think that's one of the ways in which I will want to help people, by just going to different countries and exploring different cultures and seeing how they live and, immersing myself in their culture. That is what I'm really interested in, and maybe I might learn something along the way to bring back to my people and form something, to help my people here. I don't know. Nobody has it all figured out. I think that's what I really want. I want the freedom to figure stuff out. And sometimes when you're stuck in a cycle, not only are you time bound, you don't have the time because you have to go to work, right? Your mental ability is just like, the mental capacity is limited. It is limited. Like, you just can't think outside the box. You might be mentally constrained because all you can think about is, oh, I gotta go to work. Oh man, I've been at work 12 hours, 8 hours, still can't pay my bills, still struggling. I gotta get a second job. You are mentally drained. You can't even think straight. You don't like what you do. You're there all day. And now you're struggling. You're struggling mentally, financially, in every way of life. So I know in this lifetime of mine, in this one lifetime of mine, I want to be free. I don't want to struggle. If I do struggle, it better be because I'm chasing my dreams. It better be because I have a plan. I'm willing to fight that fight and to do that type of struggling. But to struggle and I'm in a job with a cap on my salary, I know this is the regular way of life, right? But I think I'm just against it. It's like a force. It's like this life, this regular way of life that that your whole family knows, because I don't come from money at all. I come from working class people. So this regular way of life that everybody knows, it's not what I want. It's not. I see bigger and better for me. And granted, some people like working their 9 to 5s and leaving work at work and being able to be on, that schedule, having 2 weeks to a month of vacation a year. I'm sorry, that's just not me. I want to be able to say, I think I want to go to Iceland for a month. Let me go to Iceland for a month. Or I think I want to go to Paris for a day. Let me book my trip and go to Paris for a day. That's the type of life that I want. So that's what I want to work towards. But to get to that, I don't want to just do anything. I want to live a purposeful, meaningful life. And I need to do like a career that means something to me. I can't just go day in and day out doing something that I just don't care about. I don't think you could pay me enough to do something that I don't care about, but it's taking up all of my time and my energy. It's not that serious to me. I think I'd rather be a nomad pursuing my dreams and feeling fulfilled than be rich but tied up. Dang. Okay, so I feel like I was just rambling a little bit, but yeah. So back when I started Couch Conversations in January of 2024, January of this year, I believe I mentioned that I was laid off from my corporate job as an auditor in 2023, April of 2023. And from there, I got my real estate license because I didn't feel like audit was for me, right? It wasn't me. It didn't fit my personality. And I know I wanted to help people. I'm a people's person. I like helping in any way I can. So I got my real estate license, and yeah, but I never fully pursued real estate full time because I was so worried about my funds dwindling. I was living off my savings, but I became a substitute teacher to supplement my savings. And I'm a grown woman, so of course I need to keep the bills paid, and I didn't want my money to go low, because when you're starting off with real estate, it's a hustle. Like, you need to know people, you need to learn while you're doing, you just need to, the money doesn't come automatically. It's like you put in the work and you receive the fruits of your labor later. And I didn't know that real estate coming in was a lead generation business, and that when you generate these leads, it's like, okay, when can we set an appointment? So I think when I first started real estate, I was so scared to actually get on the phones and lead generate, because I was so concerned with clocking in to a job so I could pay my bills. But I didn't even need that job to pay my bills. So fast forward, March of 2024, March of this year, I ended up getting a call asking if I wanted to be an auditor for someone's small firm. And even though I told myself, Blake, you don't like audit, you're not going back to audit, I was like, you know what, instead of getting this little substitute teaching pay, I might as well get back into the workforce and build my savings back up. So I said sure. After I basically interviewed him for the job, because I'm like, look, I said I wasn't going back, but sure, I'll come back after we spoke. And I said, don't have your expectations up here, because I think I'm at this level. Don't have your expectations up here, because this is where I left off. And he was like, oh no, I think you'll do great, blah blah blah. Okay, I'm not even hyping myself up, but I'm like, okay, cool. Time goes on. It is now July. Yes. So July comes, and he's like, hey Blake, I really want you on my team, but I think you being remote, I can't give you the best training that you need, to get from this level to that level. So I'm willing to pay your relocation expenses, and if you decide to relocate, you can always come into the office and work for my team. And I was just like, okay, thank you. And I just took that as a kind way of getting fired for the second time in my adult life. Like, whoever said being an adult would come with this much, hardship? But it's not even hardship for real, because I never wanted to do it in the first place. Because in my soul, I didn't want to do it. But since that's all I know, it's like, okay, how else are you going to generate a substantial amount of income? That's your background. This is all you have, right? And granted, when I did start that job, I was like, okay, I'm working remote. I can really do real estate now since I'm working remote. And some people, it's good for them. Like, they can do that. They can multitask. But me, I can't. I just need to focus on one thing at a time. That's what I've realized about myself. Well, I've been realized that. So I don't know how I thought I would be able to navigate, being a dual career agent. So I said, when I got off that phone call, I was like, you know what, Blake, maybe this is your time. I think you keep getting rejected for a reason. This rejection is redirection, and it's redirecting you into the way that you need to go. So I am now pursuing real estate full time, actually using my license, and I'm excited to see where this takes me. And when I say pursuing real estate full time, I'm not an Instagram girly. I need to become an Instagram girly and just start posting cute content, because that is what attracts people. But I actually want to attract people who need help. So a day for the past 2 weeks, a day of my life looks like me calling people's whose houses are in like pre-foreclosure or probates or going to the courthouse and pulling leads, you know, people to call. And that's what my business looks like right now. I actually did get a response today. Like, you can make a lot of calls. I probably made at least 100 calls. I need to make my systems faster so I can call people and touch people in a quicker manner. But like, after I find the people, put it in my Excel spreadsheet or whatever, and I call them, I follow up with a text message. Like, it's a whole process for me. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep trying different forms of lead generation until I find what works best for me. But since I've been released from the remote 9-to-5 job, I felt free. I don't know what is in store for my future. I have no clue. I'm not worried about money. I'm just living off my savings right now. But I know if I continue to put in work, if I continue to make calls every single day, someone is gonna need me to list their house. Someone is gonna need help finding a home, you know? And I know with the state of the economy, the interest rates dropping and the prices of homes going up, you know, it's always something. I'm waiting until the interest rates, well, people who are not knowledgeable on real estate trends, they think that just because interest rates are high, nobody's gonna buy. Somebody is always in need, right? That pre-foreclosure is going to the auction block once it's foreclosed on. So they have to get out either way. It's either you want to get out with money or without money, right? So there's always a need for real estate services. I'm not worried about that. I just have to find my footing and I have to do the work. And I'm ready. I'm so ready to bet on myself and to learn something new. Like, I've been a worker all my life. Since I started working, I've just been a worker. And now I want to be a person who can generate work. Like, I don't want to just be the worker. I want to be the boss. Not even the boss, because an entrepreneur, like, I don't want to have to manage other people yet. I don't know, that might be my future. But right now, I want to be able to manage me, manage my life, manage my time, and to have control over what I want in my life. I think when you're working a 9-to-5, your job controls you. They control when you can go on vacation, when you can, and some people might say, oh, well, I love my job. Well, they don't control me. I don't care how much you love a job. They control you, babes. That salary, it controls you. Like, everything controls, and even being an entrepreneur, once you figure out how to close deals in real estate, that has the possibility to control me. I might be so hungry to get more listens that I'm always on the phone, and you know, I might start neglecting people. I don't know. Who knows? But I do know, especially after hearing stories of seasoned agents, now is the best time for me to bet on myself in real estate. Because with real estate, you have to hustle. You have to drive to go see properties. You have to be on the phone. It's just me right now. No kids, no man. This is prime time for me to build my business. So in years to come, when I do decide to settle down and have kids, I will have that pipeline, and hopefully my business can run off of referrals or just me being an expert in the industry, and it'll be like easier. So that is my hope. But yeah, I just think life can be tricky. You never know which way you're gonna go, and to just go along with the flow if you have the means to do so. And even if you don't have the means financially to figure out what you want to do, still evaluate your life, audit your life, and see, is this really, am I happy? Am I happy? Is this really what I want to do? Is this job taking a toll on my mental health? Is it taking a toll on my family? I know I'm artistic. Like, if I created art and sold it online, like, what would that do for me? If I've actually implemented that idea that I've had in my head for years, what would that do for me? When I was in grad school, I was looking up ways to invest in real estate, and buying books on investing in real estate. Like, I've been doing this in my free time, but I just never actually applied it because I was so comfortable with the funds from my day job and just living my life that I just never pursued it. So now with me having the time, and with it being my career, I just feel like I can actually dive deep into everything that I've always wanted to. I can read all the books and actually apply it. Yes, you can read books, but if you're not doing it every single day and you're focused on other things every single day, it's kind of hard to apply it. But now with me, for example, lead generating, when I'm calling these pre-foreclosures, I can analyze the deal and see whether or not it is better for me to contact an investor and offer them cash on the property, or for me as an agent to list it in the MLS, and sell it retail. So it's just not just having the access to do different things. For me, that's what's working for me. But yeah, I am excited to see where I end up on this journey. I do need to get closer to God. I need to meet with Him every single day. I don't think I've ever had like I go to church and things of that sort, but I've never had my own personal relationship with Christ. And I am seeking that. Like, I do believe that if I seek that, then everything else will just fall into place. And yeah, that's where I am, child. I'm in my mid-20s, midlife crisis, quarter-life crisis, whatever you want to call it. It's not a crisis. Like I said, rejection is just a form of redirection. You will change. What you like will change. Your interests will change. And it's okay. It's okay to explore new things. It's okay to not like what you once loved. Like, change is okay. Yeah, and that's my rant for today. That concludes Couch Conversations with the Blake for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you took something from this conversation. I want you to know you are not alone in your walk, and there is always someone out there who is going through what you are going through, who is seeking different, even if they don't know where to find it, even if everybody is telling them like you're doing a bad job or you're walking down the wrong path, but they feel in their soul that what they're doing is the right thing. Make sure you just bet on yourself. Bet on yourself. What does that look like to you? Are you trying your hardest every day? Does betting on yourself mean that you get to chill? I feel like we all work for money. If you have money, like, what are you doing? Do you just chill every day? Like, what does that look like for you? Do you go volunteer? So, yeah. Thank you.